Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's total Spotfest time. Action-packed show for you. We have our first ever Impact pay-per-view champion. We have more wrestlers appearing on our television screen in a matter of 24 to 48 hours than I can remember, and lots of news. This is Total Spotfest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Coming at you like a Canadian destroyer off of a ladder through a table. This is Total Spotfest. Welcome, everybody, or welcome back. I am JJ Brownlee. He is Jamie Faulkner. How you doing today, Jamie?
I'm pretty good. We had a really good weekend of wrestling. A lot better than I was expecting on Sunday, but Saturday delivered.
A lot of wrestling. A lot of good wrestling. I was geeked up. I was amped up. I'm surprised you got wrestling in, but you're done with softball for a hot minute here, so you can dedicate yourself.
Yes,
thank God.
Yes, it's full on wrestling season for Jamie now. I have a roughly about 6 weeks of no softball.
Timed that perfectly. We're just about a little over 2 weeks away from Journey Pro 78 weeks later, so perfect time.
Cannot wait. And our lucky contestant winner, Dusty, he's amped up too. Bringing his son. I'm really excited.
Bring his boy. Hell yeah.
I don't know if he's over 21. If he's over 21, he gets an alcoholic drink. If he's under 21, he gets a chocolate milk.
Alcoholic drink. Or if he wants to go get like a frappuccino, whatever. That would be the dick move that I would do. I was like, hey, let me take your boy and go just cram him full of sugar. And then there you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That'd be awesome.
We'll see. We're going to have a good time. We got T-shirts in. I'm not going to show them on here, but I showed you, Jamie. They're amazing. So more details coming. If you're interested, we're actually going to be we got some merch ideas coming shortly. So there's a domain that has been purchased and a website that I am in the middle of sorting out some of the logistics on, and then me and Jamie are going to design it up. We're going to write stuff up. So with that, we're going to have some merch available. So if you're interested, it'll be out there. So
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. I skipped over this here, but I do want to thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can join the conversation. Hit a comment down below. Like, subscribe, share, all the things. It does help us out quite a bit if you could. Mm-hmm. And if you're following us, listening, listening along on your favorite podcast provider, you can hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Wow. I don't know why that was so challenging for me to get through. But
I mean, it's early in the week. It's probably why.
It is. We record this on a Monday, so it's a bit of the Mondays, but no time for that.
Somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
No, hell no, man. I think you said that around me. You're out like your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Great shit. Name that movie down. We're gonna start playing Name That Movie because Jamie drops at least 3 or 4 every podcast. If you haven't noticed,
at minimum, because damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
I remember our previous job that we used to work at. There was we run a spiff or we ran a contest of some sort that if you could name all the movies that you dropped in your weekly team meeting that you led, you got like a spiff or like an extra bonus or some employee bucks or something whatever, and because they're abundant. So yeah, name that movie down below. We're gonna name that Impact Champion is what we're gonna do. So this past Saturday, like that segue, like how I just boom pro move over here. This past Saturday was the big Impact pay-per-view. Their WrestleMania. They're all out. Slammiversary 2021. The 19th Slammiversary. Next year is gonna be massive.
Yeah,
hopefully
number 20.
So it was their Slammiversary. It was, for a spoiler, it was excellent. It was very good.
It was
all over
really
the place.
Good. Better than I was expecting on a couple matches, and the one matches I thought would expect, that I thought we were going to delivered.
Yeah, I mean they over delivered a few of them that I was like, wow.
Yes.
So you'll see between Jimmy and my picture here, we're going to keep the tally going. So Young Boy's taking some time off, like I said, so he's not competing for the titles right now. He's back in the minors, he's whatever. He's got to go learn how to hit the ropes. And so it's going to be just myself, Jamie, and the tyrant known as Megan, who's going for her third belt. And we're going to
Megan 2 belts. And she's going to try to become Megan 3 belts.
And we are going to do our damnedest to keep it, especially this guy, because I had to go to double overtime tiebreaker with her for the AEW title last time. So hopefully it won't come to that. We do have a tiebreaker, and so I'm going to run through it. I'll give you the picks ahead of time, what we picked, and then we'll go like that.
Yeah.
So it opened up on the pre-show with the Knockouts tag titles. So it was Fire and Flavor, the champions, defending against Rosemary and Havoc. Havoc is now officially part of Decay. She was ordained by Reverend James Mitchell from this past week's Impact.
Perfect.
Yeah, James Mitchell, who shows up to ordain her because he got scared because Susan's doing her transformation to Sue Young, and she's self-aware of who Sue Young is, by the way. Mm-hmm. And apparently, she terrified the hell out of James Mitchell. So, yes.
Oh, that's great.
Love me some Sue Young. Spoiler, Sue Young didn't show up in this whole pay-per-view. But anyway, so it's Decay versus Fire and Flavor. I picked Decay, Rosemary and Havoc, to be your new tag champions, while Jamie and Megan both picked Fire and Flavor to retain the Knockouts tag titles.
Yes.
So right off the bat, we're starting off with a little variance, and it was great. This is the first Impact event to have fans in attendance since the pandemic started. Now, granted, it was still at the same studio they've been shooting Impact from, so it wasn't a ton of fans. There was probably maybe 100.
Yeah,
it wasn't a lot.
Wasn't a lot.
It didn't look like a lot, and that is apparently what they're going to be doing for their first few shootings, is that give or take that same amount of fans from the same place. There's a note about potential later moves coming up here in just a few minutes, so bear with me. But it still was great to have fans back. It does make a big difference, even if it is 60 or 100 fans. This is a highly entertaining match. A lot more entertaining than I thought.
Yeah, same.
Really,
same. I thought this was gonna be an and it definitely wasn't an
Yeah, of all the things that the tag division, Knockouts tag division, does need a little more teeth in it. It could use somebody like the Iconics, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it still was. Listen, so I wasn't expecting this because but it was a good match, and it ended with Havoc going on a tear and getting the win. So your new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Decay. JJ gets a point.
It's all right. It's a long pay-per-view.
It is a long pay-per-view. We got a good number of matches here. All right. So then that led into the actual show, right? Stryker was back, by the way, on commentary. So that was good to see as well. And it starts off with Straight Fire. Not Fire and Flavor, but Straight Fire, Ultimate X match.
Yeah, opens the show. Like,
opens
what the hell?
The damn show, which that's what they should have done, and they did it. Very reminiscent of TakeOver New Orleans, where they opened with that 6-man ladder match. So it felt a lot like that. A little different atmosphere and circumstances, sure, but basically the same thing. Now, there's 6 people in this match. You have Josh Alexander, who is your defending X Division champion, Ace Austin, Rohit Raju, the Mocha Skin Manimal, the Desi Hitman. You have Chris Bay, who is wearing Ben & Jerry's Nike themed outfit. It was wonderful. There's a Nike flavor of Ben & Jerry's, and his outfit resembled the Nikes they made for it.
Wow.
It's so meta. It's so meta. Versus Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer, versus Trey Miguel, who I got like mad props. His futures, so he's moved so far beyond the whole Rascals thing. You know, I mean they all have MSK too, but him especially, he's coming to his own for sure. Versus Ace Austin. Now, Madman Fulton, and Shearer were banned from ringside last Thursday on Impact.
Yep.
So everything we thought about the craziness was not going to happen with this match. We all picked Josh Alexander to retain. Okay, so this is there's a couple matches where we all went the same, right? First of all, my God, the action on this, just like you would expect from an Ultimate X match, an X Division. Just it took them a little while to kind of feel each other, but then they started just going at it.
Yeah, it was a slow build. I wouldn't say it was a slow build.
It was slower.
It was slower. Then it was a spot fest.
Bam, bam,
It's like
bam,
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 bam.
yeah.
Once Petey Williams started going Canadian Destroyer mad, that's when it was on. So he did a Canadian Destroyer, and then he did somebody went off the ropes, and he met him in midair and did a Canadian Destroyer, and then he was going to start to climb up, and then somebody went to go get him, and someone else picked him up. Alexander picked him up on his shoulders. So then Petey Williams from on top, up by the corner where the Ultimate X comes in, he decides to just jump off of that and do a Canadian Destroyer on him on top of Josh Alexander's shoulders. It's just like,
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah.
all the Canadian Destroyers, Trey Williams and Chris Bay are flying all over the place. Rohit Raju brought the comedy to it, which I love, because he then backed it up later on. But he's playing this whole thing that he's too short to get up there, so he goes in the corner and he can't reach the X.
That's so good.
If you don't know what Ultimate
Yeah.
X is, there's a truss going around the whole ring in like a big X with truss in each corner, and they have these ropes set up that go across the ring in an X, and then in the middle of the X is where the belt is hung from. You win by going up to get the belt. The only way to get there, you have to climb up, go across one of the ropes, and get the belt.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go up through the center, but what fun is that?
Yeah. There's no fun in that.
So he's in the corner. He can't reach the rope. So then he goes under the ring, and he gets a chair, and he gets like a rope, and he throws the rope. It takes him like 4 tries, but he gets it, and he's going to like rope himself, climb up to it. He was funny. I enjoyed all of it.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. And then you had one other spot before I finish this up here that I wanted to talk about was the cascade of submissions. So Petey Williams locks in a sharpshooter on Trey Miguel. And Trey's tapping, but tapping doesn't matter. And then while he's doing that, here comes Rohit Raju, and he does a crossface on Trey as well, for whatever reason. Then that led to Josh Alexander was on the top, and while they were doing it, he's starting to go across. And Chris Bay stops him and interrupts him, and and then goes to kick him down, and Alexander catches him in a heel lock while he's hanging from his feet up by the belt in the middle of the X. Okay. In the middle, while he was doing that, Ace Austin came over and put a sleeper on Petey Williams, and Chris Bay, while getting an ankle lock from Josh Alexander above, does a sleeper on Ace Austin. So to recap, you have Josh Alexander hanging from the top doing ankle lock on Chris Bay, who's doing a sleeper hold on Ace Austin, who's doing a sleeper hold on Petey Williams, who's doing a sharpshooter on Trey Miguel, who's also getting a crossface on him by Rohit Raju. It was a cascade of submissions.
It's the human submission centipede.
It was a human submission pede.
You know what though? I was a little upset when that happened.
Because there was no lion tamer.
There's no lion tamer.
You're not gonna, you got a lion tamer. Swerve did a lion tamer for you.
He did.
Okay?
He did. But
all right.
But the problem is, like, I haven't had it in so long. You get that taste, like, oh my God, I gotta have it again. I need it. So I'm looking at you, Josh Alexander. Give me a damn lion tamer. I'm gonna be yelling at Jeremy Wyatt 78 weeks later because I've already tweeted at him a couple times.
You've already
about
tweeted
it.
at him. He's already tweeted at you.
With
No,
no.
I just want him to like flip you off in your face.
Me too. Me too.
It'll happen.
It will.
The match ends. Alexander retains. So we all picked Alexander. He does retain. Very good match. Not the longest X Division,
No.
but it was a solid open to the bout.
100%. It was good.
So we're sitting at 2 for me, 1 for Jamie, 1 for Megan. The next match was one of the ones that was booked this past Thursday. So I wanted to wait to get our little sheet together because I'm like, let's just make sure the card's finalized. And it's a good thing we did because we had another match that was added. And it was Brian Myers and Tenille Dashwood versus Matt Cardona and a mystery opponent of his choosing, which if you didn't realize is Chelsea Green, you must not be paying attention to anything outside of what you see on TV. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah.
It was Chelsea Green. But the reveal was very nice. So because and they set it up on Thursday because Tenille used to date Matt, I guess back in the day. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yes, she did.
But
yeah, I did that.
whatever. Good for him. Tenille Dashwood and Chelsea Green is engaged to. Man,
He's my hero.
must be nice to have. Must be nice to have like 14 abs, you know.
Yeah.
So hey, it is what it is.
He's my hero.
6'7", 14 abs, the whole So Myers and Tenille come out, and then Cardona comes out, and he walks straight out and keeps his left side facing the ramp to where the camera is. He doesn't turn at all. And then his music's playing, and then it boom fades out, and then you get Chelsea Green's new music coming in there for the hot mess, and she comes out full Two-Face gear. So on the right hand side is the hot, on the left hand side is the mess. Her right side is matching Matt's trunks, and it turns out half of his trunks because he turns and he's matching. They're matchy in their stuff, right?
Oh, that's so cute.
Now we all picked Cardona and Green to win. Chelsea Green's debut. We all knew it was going to be Chelsea Green, and we all figured that she's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So before I get into the match, though, I do want to take this time to just mention one thing that I read before Slammiversary. So I was perusing around like either Friday evening or Saturday morning. I can't remember, but before Slammiversary. Now I ran into this story. And it really kind of like started with Kylie Ray and then went on from there because it talked about Impact's relations with other promotions. And this is all like according to Fightful Select, who's, like, well, as we said before, a very reliable source in a bunch of these things, right?
100%.
So they were saying that Impact was specifically said to have been really excited to work with another company. It's indicated there could be further talent workings between the two companies in the coming months. Now, they've been doing stuff, of course, with New Japan and with AEW, as we know. But it goes further than that. It said Impact sources have also indicated there's no animosity between Impact and MLW, and that the relationship between Impact and Ring of Honor is as friendly as it's ever been, quote unquote. And it keeps going on talking about this a little bit more. I read it from Wrestling Inc., but you can look it up. It's from Fightful Select. And so it talks about this whole thing that Impact is definitely opening its doors a lot more. It's found success with its cross-departmental things with New Japan and AEW. They've had, because of the Kylie Ray thing, people were kind of wondering about it, and it actually was very amicable talks between the three parties. They have a good relationship with NWA, put a pin in that, and they're open to working with other promotions, put a pin in that too. So Chelsea Green, for example, was announced for NWA's pay-per-view coming up in St. Louis here in August. First all-woman pay-per-view for NWA. And she's in this match. So this match, I didn't really have a ton of notes on this. I did. Okay, there was one spot that I didn't want to talk about. So there was a low blow from Tenille. She tried to do a low blow again on Cardona, who was wearing a cup, right? And so, fool me once, shame on me, as he pulls the cup out and then does a cup stink face to Brian Myers, right?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It was so good, which then led to Chelsea Green doing a Canadian Destroyer on Brian Myers,
Which was awesome.
which was great. And then they kind of, stuff kind of goes around, and then it leads to Chelsea Green doing a low blow right in front of the referee to Neil Dashwood, who is like, okay, I'm not going to stop it for that. I mean, you're ladies, right? And then Unprettier, they get the win. So Chelsea Green, Matt Cardona get a win. I fully envision Chelsea Green's full time, especially with this whole news about the working relationships between other promotions.
Yeah.
My thought is she's an Impact wrestler who's going to be also on NWA. Much like Thunder Rosa, we know is a NWA wrestler who's basically on
AEW,
on all of
yeah.
AEW, But so anyway, so that was that. Next match was W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards. We all picked W. Morrissey. I thought it was going to be like a 5-minute squash, right?
Same. 100%. I was right there with you.
And it wasn't. I mean, W. Morrissey definitely was the dominant factor in this. But Eddie Edwards put up a really good fight. Better than I've seen him do in the past few months from some of his bouts. So at the end of the day, it was W. Morrissey getting the win, though. So that means we're hitting all the points here. So 4-3-3 is the score. Only 2 misses so far. That's about to change, folks.
Yes, it is.
So, all right. So next match was an impromptu match. Didn't see this coming. But Madman Fulton and Shearer came out. And we didn't pick this because it came out of nowhere. Right?
Yeah.
Madman Fulton and Shearer came out. They're bitching and whining because they got banned. And they're met by Finn Juice returning.
Yeah.
So, quick impromptu match. Finn Juice dispenses them relatively easily. They also did not leave the building. They will factor into something later on.
Sure will.
So we got 4-3-3 score. Next match is Chris Sabin versus Moose. And we were split on this. So Jamie picked Moose. Megan and myself both picked Chris Sabin to win. If we could have done bonus points, my guess was that Chris Sabin would win by help of Alex Shelley. That Shelley would be making his return and Machine Guns be back together. But that did not happen. Still, though, Moose was a dominating factor in this again. And his character work is so good lately. He's consistent throughout. His interactions with fans are great. Sabin's got all the talent in the world, and he showed it by getting somewhat of a surprise victory. So he picks up the win on Moose. So that drops Jamie to 2 points behind myself. I got the perfect card right now. I just want to say, Megan, I'm sitting here at 5. You're at 4. Jamie's at 3. Oh, it's getting tight.
I'm pretty much eliminated at this point. Let's just be real.
You're not yet eliminated because
I'm pretty close.
Nope. Yep. You're mathematically eliminated. Yep. So at this point, because I'm looking at what we have ahead here, and me and Jamie have the same number on 2 of the final 3 matches. So even if he gets that other one and picks it up, the best week in, you're going to have one more than me. So you are mathematically eliminated. Boom. Bob's your uncle. There you go.
I'm gone.
So it's down to me to prevent the tyrant known as Megan from getting yet another belt.
Make it 2 belts.
We haven't gotten one yet. We're gonna get one of the little, the only ones I could find on eBay or whatever, like the little toy ones.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get one of those.
Okay.
It's gonna be the little rings you can have. There was a promo that aired, and it was about this guy writing there, "Long live the king," and then he writes over top of it, "Drama, the Drama King." Well, I found out after, I didn't know who the hell that was, but I found out afterward that's implying Aiden English.
Yep.
Aiden English is signed with Impact Wrestling. I can't remember what his real name is, but he's supposed to be debuting at the first round of taping. So
Nice.
it could be as soon as this Thursday.
Yeah, Aiden English, the Drama King. He's been over in like Zello Pro. He's done a few things with World League Wrestling as well. That is the Harley Races thing. That's where he actually trained, was with Harley Race. But yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I know he's married to, is it, he married to Guerrero's daughter? No, not Guerrero's daughter.
Yeah. Shaw?
Is it? Yeah, Shaw Guerrero.
Yeah, he's married to Shaw Guerrero, I believe.
Yeah, he's in he's in a wrestling royalty family. So hey, that's great.
Yeah, just ask Britt Baker.
I know, right? I know. And it's interesting because I read another story this weekend too that Impact is very, 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 very high and in deep negotiations talks with Buddy Murphy. They're said to be making a major play on him. He's been doing a lot of talk because that's the only way you can stay relevant in your 90-day no compete is get out in front of it and do interviews. He's doing any interview. He'd probably do our interview if we asked him.
That'd be awesome.
We need to ask him. But no, they're apparently like super big on it, which they should be. And seeing him versus Trey Miguel, him versus Moose, I mean, I'm all about it. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so that takes us to our next match here. We got 3 matches left, title matches. Next one was the tag title match. Violent by Design, your champions. They're defending in a 4-way match against Rich Swann and Willie Mack, the Good Brothers, and Fall of Ball, and it was supposed to be TJP, but TJP got pulled out. Something happened. I don't know if it's kayfabe or if it's injury. I didn't read too much into it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's got to find himself a opponent. So, Mack and Swan come out first, then Fall of Ball comes out, and he says, they asked me if I could find an opponent. And apparently his big thing is like, no, no, no. That's like his saying. I don't know where it came from. I'm catching up on a few things here. Apologies, guys. But he goes, they asked me if I could find an opponent. I said, no, no, no. No way, Jose. And here comes No Way Jose, who now goes by No Way.
Yeah.
And he's in Impact, maybe for good, but for tonight, for sure. So it was good. No Way Jose had good talent. He's still doing the same Congo line shtick. So if you didn't like it, it really hasn't changed. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the same guy. He tried to reinvent himself right after, and it didn't go well. And then COVID happened. Yeah.
He literally fell into the worst crack. Like boom, 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 COVID. It was like, so he's been basically stuck doing nothingness. So it's good to see him a little bit. He was a little bit rusty. You could tell.
Yeah.
Now for this here, myself and Jamie picked Violent by Design to retain. Right.
Yes.
And Megan thought that this would be the tag belt to change in the night, so she picked the Good Brothers. So there's that. So we got a little bit of difference there. Let's see what happens. So this match was very interesting. It of all the matches, this is probably the one I was least invested in. Honest to God. I don't know why. I just. But it was an entertaining enough match. I think here's why, because they did a 4-way match. But remember, I told you there's the 2 different ways you can do 3 or more tag team match. You can either do that match, but with the tag teams. So if you have 3 tag teams, the triple threat, or 4, it's a fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
But you can take your own opponents in and out.
Yeah.
Or you can do however many teams, and 2 people are legally in the ring at a time. And I don't like that one nearly as much, and that's what this was. You had 4 teams, but 2 people were legal in the ring. It's not. It doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't. There's a lot of people standing around for this. Is what I find.
Yeah, it's not as near as fun when you have 4 in there too, because you can do a lot more cool shit, flippy spinny shit.
Flippy spinny shit. Yeah, we got some of that. We got some flippy spinny shit.
We did.
A little bit, and there was some good. They always break down. There's movesets back and forth, but it ends with the Good Brothers pulling the sneak. Doing the blind tag and the surprise and the magic killer, and they are your new Impact champions, tag champions again. So Megan picks up a point. Me and her are tied. You're now definitely eliminated.
Yeah, I'm dead in the water.
I think you were still mathematically alive after the Moose Saban, but now you're definitely dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
There's no shot for you.
Yes.
So, all right. So me and Megan are tied. And spoiler alert, we both picked the same thing for the next 2 matches.
The writing's on the wall.
No! So we are going to go to the overtime tiebreaker after all. I'll tell you what it is coming up here. I mean, of all the things, and here's the thing is, I know that with her schedule and everything going, she doesn't watch any of this.
No,
she doesn't
not
know
what
half
else.
these mothers. And I watch them, of all of us, the most, I be human. That's not even a word. I'm making words up now, but I've talked about how much I like Impact, and we'll see though. We'll see. So, all right. After this, you got Deonna Purrazzo versus who's it going to be? And they start doing the New Day Who thing,
yeah,
right, which is cool because Gail Kim had said that you're going to find out your opponent on that night. So lots of speculation. Internet was kind of like leaning towards Britt Baker because there had been the whole feud going on online between Baker and Deonna Purrazzo, which that's a match that I want to see one day soon.
Yes.
By the way, myself and Megan, like I said, we both picked the same thing. We both picked Deonna Purrazzo. Jamie picked the mystery entrant. Who did you think it was going to be, Jamie?
I thought it was going to be Britt Baker, honestly, and I thought
think Britt?
and
Okay.
Britt would have 2 belts and she'd be a belt collector too, and I thought that'd just be great TV.
Yeah. Well, I picked it mainly because she was announced to go title versus title at AAA Triple
That's
Mania.
right.
So
Yep, that's right.
I'm like, well, she's not going to lose her belt. But this would be a fun match is what I thought here. So if not Britt Baker, I know there's a few other things thrown out there. Somebody said Mickie James. It could be, I heard some people saying Ruby Soho, but that's not, I mean, she posted videos of her. She's still at the Logan's farm. Hey, Ruby. She's still at the Logan's farm. You didn't think I was going to fit it in, did
Oh,
you?
no, I knew you would. You'd find a way.
Okay. All right. Always find a way. But no, she was at Sarah Logan and the Logan's and Mike Rose farm for she's been posting on Instagram, and so she's definitely not going to be it. But the people that were saying it was going to be her, they said one of the Iconics, Peyton Royce, which they said they're a package deal, but who is it going to be? I thought for the longest time we were thinking Sue Young too, right?
Yeah.
I still thought that up to the point where we heard the drums happen, and here comes Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
Thunder frickin' Rosa. And I'm like, God damn it, that's perfect.
Oh,
How did I
and
not think
her
of this?
gear was fire.
So Deonna,
the headdress.
Deonna comes out, first of all, like the Ice Queen. She's got this Maleficent looking, crown on and like the black and everything lacy. And then, you talk about Thunder Rosa for a second, James.
Yeah, so Thunder Rosa had the full-on old-school Mayan headdress, like it's a eagle's headdress,
Yeah, like
and
the Aztec thing.
Yeah, it's open, and half her face is in like baby blue and white, and she's just got like a baby blue outfit. It looked sick. It was.
It's now her profile
fire.
picture because it looked fantastic.
Like I just want her in a headdress all the time now because I think of her more now like a Incan Mayan, warrior type. That's perfect. I love that idea.
From Tijuana, I mean, most definitely. And I think that I would like to see her come out, like for the next big pay-per-view All Out, come out with that and have like the shoulder
wings,
with
the feathers,
the feathers and stuff. Just go all out. But she looked fantastic. And as soon as I heard that drum, I was like, oh, God damn it, of course. That makes all the sense in the world. This is perfect. Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. Yes, please give me more of this.
Yes.
And they did. And this was stellar. Some people still have no idea about what Deonna, only know Deonna Purrazzo from her whole Virtuosa thing in NXT, right?
Yeah.
Which is a damn shame because she is a stellar wrestler.
Yeah, they buried her.
Oh, they buried her, and she's a very tactical wrestler. So she does a lot of submissions, a lot of tactical stuff, very, kind of like Randy Orton-esque, very dissecting of the pieces. But this went back and forth. Thunder Rosa did one of the best double stomps I've ever seen. She jumped halfway across the ring to double stomp on top of her. She's great. We talked about her a lot. I'm not going to continue going on because I could, but ends up that Deonna ends up getting the victory. She does her Venus de Milo. No, she does her Venus de Milo's the double arm bar. She does her Queen's Gambit, which is like a variant of a package pile driver on Rosa. Retains the title. So Deonna is your winner. So once again, me and Megan, we're staying locked in at 6 there. Now, after the match is where the good stuff really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was fake. This was fantastic, by the way. This match was very good. Go watch it. Please go watch it.
Yes, very, very good.
But after the match, Thunder Rosa goes to the back, big crowd, and then, Deonna's out there just soaking her admiration, which she's not getting because she's a heel. And then Hardcore Country blares, here comes Mickie James.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh shit! Once again, pull that pin out of talking about other promotions, right?
Yep.
Or about NWA. Well, here she comes out, and she goes on for a minute, but then she said that she's not here to get in her face. She does know how good Deonna is, and she does respect her, and it's because of all those things she wants to book her. She wants to invite her in a match at NWA Empower happening in St. Louis in August. So then Deonna tells her to go grab her trash bag and get the hell out of here.
Yes, it was so good.
That's responded by a Mick kick from Mickie, of course, and that's where we leave you. So Mickie, once again, playing well. I know Mickie debuted, came up the whole Trish Angle fangirl obsessive thing. I always felt Mickie was more TNA than she was WWE.
100%. I loved TNA Mickie more than I loved WWE Mickie.
I mean, she was allowed to be. She's kind of Deonna. She is allowed to be a leading lady. Mm-hmm. She kind of got to write her own story. That's where her whole country, she was when she was doing the country music singing, so she got to play that character and build it. So I loved seeing her back there, and it's a good. They're playing nice with each other, so who knows?
Exactly.
Speaking of playing nice, they did their first commercial for Bound for Glory, which is the next. So their big four includes Slammiversary and Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is happening in October, and so they announced that it was going to be in Las Vegas, and there's been talks about moving Impact in total, tapings and all, to Las Vegas. I'm big on that. I think that's good. It's not the first time they've done that before. Back in the post-Dixie, pre-Billy Corgan, somewhere around there. I don't even know when they had done that in Vegas. Mm-hmm. So if they do that, that's cool. But this will be their first pay-per-view that I know of that's legitimately out of the Nashville studio. So it's a typical little, announcement video. They got, show a picture of Vegas, show a couple, Impact wrestlers, show another picture of this Vegas, and show this, and show a picture of this, and then boom, Bound for Glory. Then, not even in a passing glare, but very clearly after they show the Bound for Glory logo, they show AEW, AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, put back up their Bound for Glory logo again. And I'm like, wait a minute. Are they now? They're great at teasing. They do this for every year for Slammiversary, right? They tease all the people who have been released that could potentially.
Oh yeah.
But if they're talking about, especially with this report, like we mentioned, about how open they are, cross promotional mega pay-per-view with AEW, New Japan, and AAA all involved. Holy shit, that would be amazing.
Well, AEW's already involved with Omega.
Right. And they're also involved with AAA and New Japan, especially AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, the Laredo Kid, Lucha Brothers, of course, are back and forth. Andrade, Omega. They have a very good relationship with AAA. And then New Japan, we know, is playing nice with both of them now. So
very nice with both of them now.
I mean, and I'm all about this. I would love to see almost like WWE Survivor Slam-esque thing between these four.
Yeah.
Because then it's got real stakes. Instead of the bullshit they do now in WWE with, SmackDown versus Raw, because nobody gives a shit. This actually could be legitimately badass. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, they teased it. It probably is just a tease. Like I said, that probably is what it's going to be. But it's out there.
Yes.
Speaking of out there, the next match is definitely out there because this was your main event. Kenny Omega, the best bout machine, God's gift to wrestling, the belt collector, your Impact, TNA, AEW, AAA World Champion, hailing from about 1,500 miles northwest of North Carolina, versus Sami Callahan, the Draw, the Death Machine. It ain't no disqualification match.
Yes.
Now, Sami, we all picked Omega. No surprise here. So we all picked Omega, right? Sami has a background in match wrestling, if you did not know. And he reminded you of that very quickly in this match.
Oh, yeah.
Minutes in, he goes into he goes under the ring, gets a few stuff, sticks it in his boot, whatever, and they're going at it. And then he pulls out a fork. He's got to go for the fork in the eye, right? And Kenny blocks it, and boom, and kicks it away. Well, he also grabbed a pizza cutter. So then he pulls out the pizza cutter and cuts him right across his forehead back and forth. Sami does to Kenny Omega.
With a pizza cutter.
Why even bother? Just go right to town from the shoot, right? With a pizza cutter. Don Callis is on commentary, by the way, and he's just as wonderful on commentary. He stole Stryker's chair.
Of course he did.
Asking and he asked who he was.
Yes.
But there's so much stuff, and then you had all the weapons, trash cans galore, baking sheets, trash can lids. Wet floor signs, table set up. Kenny Omega, Samuel else like Kenny Omega goes to pull a table out, puts it over on top of Omega. So Omega's on the ground outside of the ring, right? With the table, with the top of it laying on him, so that the legs are facing upright. He just kind of pulls out and puts it on top of him, then goes up to the apron and does a double stomp on the table and cracks it while it's on top of Sami on the ground. And I'm just like, so simple. But I don't recall people doing that,
right?
Because it's too simple, right? Of course, he gets rid of that table, pulls another one out. Sami eventually package pile drives him off the apron through that table. I mean, you want to talk about spots all over the place. He had a barbed wire chair, which is hidden, which is uncovered by Sami. He got tombstoned into that, or he tombstoned Omega into that. At the end, though, there was he throws powder in the face. Omega throws I'm trying to keep them all straight. Omega throws like powder or whatever, baby powder, in Sami's face. Sami then pile drives the ref.
Yeah, because he can't see.
Because he can't see, so he's pile drive whoever. Then Omega hits a pile driver to him on the belt, but there's nobody to count. Out come the Good Brothers. They're met by Chris Sabin and Eddie Edwards, who shoo him back. Thank God, right?
Yeah.
And then there's they kind of all regain their wits. New ref comes out, right? There's a package pile driver that led to another near fall by Sami, which led to Tax being introduced. And JJ likes to see him I get to see Tax all the time. You don't get to see your lion tamer. You should, because I get Tax a lot lately.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot. And we had all the new good things, right? So Tax just being thrown as a handful. There was Tax in the mouth and a super kick by Omega on Sami Callahan. So Sami was against the ropes, and Kenny was sitting there and just his knee pad, and goes and presses it down into the Tax multiple times. So they start sticking to his knee pad, and then he does a V trigger to him with a knee pad full. It had like 20, but
that's still sick. Though it was
Tax.
sick.
It still looked
great.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so Tax in the mouth with a V trigger, then a one-winged angel led to the win. So that is your pay-per-view. As you see, we do have I'm not done talking about it here, but we want to kind of recap here real fast before we move on to the post pay-per-view, because there's one more thing that happened.
Yes.
But as you see, Jamie is long gone to the bar to drown his sorrows. Sitting there with 4 out of 8. So A for effort, Jamie.
Yeah.
Me and Megan though tied at 7. Well, we wised up. We're just doing time because that's the best way to do it. So time for the main event. Jamie chose 24 minutes and some change. It doesn't matter. Megan chose 28 minutes. I did this on purpose too. I purposely wanted to see what y'all's time were before I put mine in because I was not going to if it comes down to it, I'm not losing on time again. So I saw those two and I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm going to take the under. I don't know. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle of this. I'm going to take the under. So I figured out what it'd be to get away from her. And I did 21 minutes and 20 seconds. And the result of the match was 27 minutes and 35 seconds.
She was within 25 seconds of perfection.
She was. So you're champion. I'm not gonna say
you're raiding, defending.
She's not. She just won. She can't defend it.
Undisputed AEW NXT and Impact champion Megan Faulkner.
Yeah. So little Lord Leroy gets the 3rd belt. So.
Megan 3 belts, and then next month she has a chance.
Next month is SummerSlam, so she could get the 4th one back.
Get the Grand Slam.
It kills me because the last 3 belts, the 3 belts that she has, she retained, she reclaimed the NXT belt from you on the tiebreaker.
On time. Oh yeah, on tiebreaker. Yep.
On tiebreaker. She got the AEW belt from me, or retained, or kept it from me. However you want to phrase it. I held it for a week, technically. I mean, if you look at, you go back and look, it was up there. But she got it on a double tiebreaker. And then here again, on something she doesn't even watch. Tiebreaker, and she gets it. I'll be goddamn.
She's our Kenny Omega. She's our best bout machine.
I'm Hangman coming to take it down. It's going to take me a while to get there, apparently.
She's a 7-star match.
She's a 7-star match. All right. So, Megan, congratulations. You won another one for now. We'll see what happens.
Megan 3 belts.
There's on YouTube. You might wonder why there's space below our names here. It's so we can put little icons of the belts of which we currently hold. We don't freaking hold any of them because
my daughter holds all 3, and then the young
boy's got the other one.
He might. So. I mean, he might come back for that one, but
he might. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
But Megan, this will be a first time she gets this one to be a full Grand Slam champion since we introduced.
She'd be a. Oh God, she's already. Oh God.
Yeah,
oh, no,
yeah. We just introduced this belt, and she has a chance to become a Grand Slam champion.
It's too bad we didn't order her a shirt when we got our total Spotfest shirts. Sorry, Megan, it didn't come. I don't know what happened.
I know we were gonna put Megan 2 belts on it. We already gotta change it.
I made sure there was no customization on that shirt. All right, congratulations, Megan. We'll see you next month at SummerSlam, where we can hopefully keep a belt away from you. Well, who knows? Probably not. But after the match, that's when after Kenny Omega and Sami Callahan, that's when all the good stuff happens. So buckle in because it goes blackout. And there's rumors about different things that could be happening. We don't know. We didn't get a ton of people showing up, right? We had Mickie James. That's not super surprising. Thunder Rosa was a nice surprise. Chelsea Green, not surprising at all, but nice to see. No Way Jose, as a minor, a little bit of a surprise, a little bit, but not a ton. So blackout happens, and then you start get music video playing. Bullet Club. King Switch logo on the screen. Here comes Jay freaking White. Oh my God. Of all the scenarios that I thought of, they did not involve even Bullet Club Invasion. It did not involve Jay White.
Yeah.
And here he is on Slammiversary walking slowly to the ring.
super slow.
Oh,
It was
milking
great
it.
though,
And
man. Like, just think if that was an AEW event, because the pop would have been deafening.
I mean, the pop was massive. The fans were popping, but there's only like 60 of them, right?
Yeah.
So if it was AEW, it would have been a shit show.
Yeah.
So he comes down to the ring, takes his dear sweet time, right? Gets up in the ring and just stands there. He's got his never open weight belt on his shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just stands there, emotionless, looking at Kenny, the Good Brothers, and Don Callis. And Kenny and Don are talking, and then they try putting up the thing, and that's what the Good Brothers are like, yeah, we're the same team. And Kenny just kind of just goes like this, kind of just waves them down, says, no. There was a match they had in 2018 in New Japan. It was the only time they fought each other. And Kenny has said before and after this as well, has said that was a one-time only thing, that he would not face him. He didn't really give an indication of if he was for them or against them, though.
Yes.
He's like I said, blank face, emotionless, looking at them. You couldn't tell if he's on their side, because Elite was Bullet Club before they branched off to be the Elite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if he's against them, like Tamatanga and Tangaloa. Man,
Tamatanga and Tamatangaloa.
I got Tamatanga and Tangaloa. The Girls of Destiny. Why did I just say
Yeah,
that?
GOD. Yeah. Easier.
Like they've been feuding hard online with the Bucks and everything else. So
He's totally against them. Mark Stradamus is calling this now.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But then you also had right when they cut out, right when the run-in was supposed to, so timing got screwed up somehow. I went online. I read that Wrestling Observer said that what happened was we saw somebody coming out. They're wearing like white pants. No idea who it was. What side are they on? Well, apparently it was Finn Juice coming out to jump Jay White. Jay White then does his finisher on Juice Robinson. He's defending his title against is it Juice or Richard?
David Finlay.
Or Finlay.
Yeah.
He's defending his title against Finlay coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Resurgence.
Yeah. No, it's not this weekend. It's the one in L.A. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so they come out. He does his finisher on Juice Robinson, and then gets out of the ring and walks back and leaves. So that was all that we got, even with stuff we didn't see. But they're planting that seed. I hope it spawns across both too. Mm-hmm. You got embers in both AEW and Impact, and like you said, the pop. If Jay White shows up, if he shows up at All Out,
I will lose my voice over that.
Oh. Well, we're gonna be there.
Yes, we will.
I might shit myself in the stands. I won't care. I won't be the only one.
No, it will smell like complete shit everywhere because it's gonna be shit everywhere.
Shit everywhere. So I know I went on about this, but this was an excellent pay-per-view. That being said, you might be amazed, but I'm gonna call it a spot fest. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 on our ranking.
I will too. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
It was a spot fest for me.
You're a lot more generous at the start with the ratings than I am, so I figured you would go up.
I mean, Jay White, he almost got it, but again, they cut it off a little too soon. If they didn't cut it off a little too soon, maybe got there.
There was that. I thought that, you didn't really have a ton of surprises other than, Jay White showing us a surprise.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa was a little bit of surprise, but when you think about it, oh no, that makes a lot of sense, right? Mm-hmm. Some of the matches were kind of predictable. Morrissey, Matt Cardona. The X Division match could have been about 15 minutes longer and just more ridiculous.
Oh, I agree.
That would have put me over, I think.
Yeah, that alone, I agree. I think that match alone, if it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the main event was bonkers. The women's match was very good. Sabin match was better than I thought. Morrissey match better than I thought. The tag match was meh. But overall, it was still an excellent pay-per-view, Spotfest. It was worth every penny of $40 that I spent for it.
Agreed.
So, very much like it. So that was Impact Wrestling. We'll be back next week to talk about what's the fallout post-Impact. What's going on with that? Mm-hmm. So before we do that, let's shift gears. I know we've gone a little long on this here already, but we're going to talk about Money in the Bank very quickly, very shortly. But Jamie's got numbers from last week from all the shows. So Jamie, what were our viewership from the Big Four here?
So our good friends over at WWE, actually they're not good friends. Monday Night Raw, as you remember, the previous week they had an all-time low of 1.472. Well, they did go up. They are 1.609.
That was their final Thunderdome show.
Final Thunderdome. And now they are in front of live fans that happened last night. NXT was 705, and that's up from 654. So that's solid.
I mean, 700's in the wheelhouse of what they want to be at. You know, say 7 to 8 that's more than what they were making when there was the Wednesday Night Wars, right? Because they were doing in the 6s, both of them, and so they can stay above 7. That's a win for me in my book.
Yeah, no, I agree. SmackDown had a big uptick. They were at 2.31 million, which is up from their 1.986. So they're over the 2 million mark again.
It's their highest in 6 months, and it was the first show with fans back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I did tune in just to see what it looked like with fans back.
The fans let them know. Like, that is
for what it's worth, it's the same show. It's the same show.
It is.
But the fans were there, so yeah, whatever. We'll see how long this lasts. Yeah. I have a note about that. I'll talk about it in a minute.
And then, of course, AEW pulled 1.025 million people. That's an uptick from 871,000.
That's a good clip.
And it was a hell of a show. And this upcoming Wednesday is going to be a banger.
It's absolutely. I'm so ready for Firefest Night 2 is going to be, oh, God. They are just loading up show after show after show. And WWE was said to be doing the same thing, right?
They're loading up. They're loading up matches, the same matches we've seen 27 times.
Well, I like that you say that because I have another story that I saw that came out over the weekend that why Vince McMahon reportedly decided to call more WWE NXT stars to the main roster. Okay, some breaking reporting going on here. But for those of you who don't know, Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox, now known as the tag team of Shotzi and Nox. Shotzi is now officially just Shotzi. Tegan Nox still has both names for now, but she's referred to as just Nox. Are on SmackDown. I think they're getting a tag team title match sometime soon here because nothing makes sense
beat the champs. They're first.
They beat well, there's no other tag teams.
Yeah, fair, very true.
There's like 3 tag teams, and then it was confirmed that Toni Storm is debuting this upcoming Friday. Is her first show on NXT. But listen to this, okay? Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Once again, another fantastic source. We quote them a lot, but with good reason. They are very, very tuned in. They don't usually deal with a lot of like rumors and bullshit. So I really like them. Them and Fightful Select are my 2 like go-tos of good sources, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Vince, this is a quote from the story that I'm reading here. Okay. Vince assessed the situation by saying there was no one new, fresh, or exciting on the roster. That's when he reportedly went to NXT with the idea of freshening up the roster with new faces who will be pushed hard right out of the box. Let me repeat that back to you. Vince assessed the situation, talking about the declining ratings and stuff, by saying that there was no one new, fresh, or exciting on the roster.
He's so out of touch.
Look at your catering table. Where the hell's Mia Yim been? Keith Lee. Spoiler, we got to see him last night.
Yeah. They finally brought Ricochet back.
Yeah. Aleister Black, you pissed away. Ruby Riott, you fucking fired, you piece of shit. Hey, Ruby.
I knew you'd fit in.
You had talent all over the place. You have talent right now. Ricochet was on Money in the Bank, and he's been getting a push, finally, but deserves more of it. Humberto Carrillo moved up, got buried. Angel Garza moved up, got buried.
Mm-hmm.
oh, problem is we don't have any fresh young talent. I'm going to go down and get some. No, you have it. You just don't know what to do with it. You just keep this. The second anything happens, you revert back to what you already know. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the theme of tonight's WWE segment. Revert back to what you already know. Money in the Bank happened. Did you have anything else you want to talk about news-wise before we do the Money in the Bank super fast?
I got nothing.
Right. So, Money in the Bank happened last night. The moral of the story is Money in the Bank matches are still fun.
Yeah.
They are.
They're great.
The women's match opened, and it was entertaining. It was nice, and what Jamie and I were super pumped because we wanted to see, because we were talking about this, how are the fans actually going to react? You know, there's this stuff, because Thunderdome, we don't know who likes who. It's all fake crowd noise and bullshit people on TVs, right? You know, who have to be screened to be on the TV so that they, you know, act accordingly. How fans are actually going to react. And they spoke right from the very start. So it's Alexa Bliss, Nikki almost a superhero, Tamina, Natalya, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, missing someone. There's other people in it too, I'm sure. But definitely Alexa Bliss got the biggest pop. She came out in this little leather thing and pulled it off. It was kind of like a variant of her old get up instead of the stupid like dress that with Lily's face on it.
Yeah, she's the Dark Goddess. It was the Dark Goddess.
The Dark Goddess. That's great. And she got the biggest pop of any woman the whole night. Flat out.
Yes.
Flat out. So they're still all over her. Liv was number 2 in this match for game pop. Mm-hmm. Zelina was number 3. Who got the lowest pop? By far, Tamina. Not far behind by Natalya. Tamina got X-Pac heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got some X-Pac heat.
Oh, she got some hard
get off
X-Pac
my screen.
Heat.
Boo.
Terribleness. And she backed it up with terrible moves. It was not look good. But the match was entertaining as hell. So it ended with them kind of like, because Alexa was trying to do her like hocus pocus shit, like kind of at parts throughout the night, right? It was entertaining. And then they got some good spots in here and there. Stuff happened. It ended with them that everybody teamed up on her outside and then literally buried her with ladders, like 8-9 ladders. They just covered her up with it. Naomi, that's who else was in this match. Sorry. And then they go in the ring and they get 2 ladders and Asuka was in it. And they set up 3 ladders and then you get Asuka, Naomi, Tamina, Natalya, Liv, Zelina. They're all going up one side of each of these 3 ladders, all 6 of them near the top there, all kind of fighting, trying to get the briefcase when Nikki, almost a superhero, just kind of scurries right up between them, grabs the case and jumps down. And she is your Money in the Bank winner. It was a very fitting for her shtick. I like it.
Yeah, which actually more to come on her.
Yeah. Hold tight there, folks. Other stuff that happened during the pay-per-view, the Usos won the SmackDown tag titles in the pre-show.
Yep.
Which is not surprising.
No.
You had AJ and almost retain the title. Lashley retained it, dominating Kofi. I mean, he made Kofi his bitch.
It was, yeah.
And then you had Charlotte, who actually got a lot bigger pop than we would have imagined. Right. Mm-hmm. She's still over. She still has got the talent. She is just as talented as she's always been. Right? Yeah. And she plays the crowd like a Flair. She finally is doing the Flair shtick, even though it's WWE 2021ized. It is that Flair shtick that I've been clamoring for years. I just wish we saw this about 4 years ago before they got so crappy.
Yeah.
But they were chanting for Becky, and she just straight up flipped them off and turned around and forced Peacock to go to black screen for a second.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Good old Peacock and their family friendly, just like, oh shit, black screen, you know. But she actually beat Rhea to win the title. She had one move I want to talk about. So she kind of ducked out of the way when Rio's going for her, and then Rio's kind of over in the corner, and Charlotte was outside. Charlotte takes her, spins her around. You know how WWE has the pose with like the big, like the mini board or light board around the post?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she takes her and spins her into it, and she goes the side of her face directly into the side of this television screen around a pole. And it looked stiff. It was just bam! I'm like, oh shit, you know. And then she takes her leg and puts it between this post and the stairs there. Does a running lunge kick and continues to kick it with her leg in there, and Rhea sold it wonderfully.
Yeah.
So it looked great. That's how you sell. You need to stop 50-50ing Rhea. Is she good? Is she bad? Make her one, because she can do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a character around what she's doing instead of this just play both sides. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
She can't. Some can. Flair can. Lynch can.
Oh, yeah.
Bailey can. The horsewomen can, basically. No one else, not really. Flair won the title. And then you have the match of the night. The match of WWE for a long while. This Money in the Bank match was, I'm going to say it was excellent. It was a stellar match.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
As you would expect when you have Ricochet actually in a pay-per-view, right? Riddle, you have John Morrison, you have Big E, you have Kevin Owens, you have Seth Rollins, you have Drew McIntyre, and then you have I'm missing one. I don't even remember who the last one was. I'll remember sometime in the middle of this here. But just those alone should tell you, oh my God, yes, this is going to be fantastic. And Ricochet, side note, he is still not human.
No.
he is just not. I mean, he was getting pushed off of a ladder, a big ladder. He then jumps off that ladder, lands on the top rope. It does a springboard, front, swan dive onto 4 people on the outside. He's just all over the place. And then him and Morrison decided to get into a flippy spinny off, trying to see who could do more flippy spinny shit.
Yeah, that was
fantastic.
fun. Yes.
And then there was he went up against Riddle, and then Riddle, went up against, it was so good. Big E looked great as well in there. He had, stare downs with Drew McIntyre, which is that's a lot of beef in the ring. I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Owens doing all the classic good Seth Owens things. So it was what you expected from these competitors. Now, it got a little weird because I haven't followed the story too much. I knew a little bit about this, but Jinder Mahal came out with his new cronies.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically removed Drew
McIntyre.
Thank you. Too many Irish Scottish names here. Drew McIntyre from the match, right? Because he wrecked his motorcycle on SmackDown or whatever, Raw, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So that's actually great because everybody, if he would have won, I think the crowd would have been so let down with this match because here's McIntyre versus Lashley again, right? But he didn't. The winner, surprise, surprise, Big E gets the win.
Yeah, it was awesome. He did a big ending off the top of the ladder on Seth Rollins. I thought that was sick.
Yeah, the biggest ending. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So this match was fantastic. All in all, I love this match. This is great. And then after that match, you had Roman Reigns, right? Yay, Roman Reigns. Yeah, he beat Edge. I fast forward through the whole thing. I saw the end of it. Rollins came out and helped him. Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
it's kind of weird.
Don't care. And then you had John Cena show up afterwards. To the biggest pop of the night. Say what you will about John Cena. He puts butts in seats and eyes on the TV.
He's a draw.
That's why he's in all the movies this upcoming year. He's in Fast 9 and the Suicide Squad. And he's getting his own spinoff and it is what it is. I don't hate me some John Cena. I take it for what it is. And it was entertaining enough. He comes out, he gives a little can't see me in Roman's face, and boom, there's your show. So he also opened up Raw last night. I actually watched Raw for the first time in months.
Yeah.
And you watched part of it, I know you said.
Yeah, I watched the end. Basically, I came in right at Alexa Bliss's playground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that was a low point. Well, moral of the story is most of what we saw is what we've seen before. No matter how much talk they said about he's going to go all out, he's going to pull it all out, his version of going all out is definitely different than AEW and Impact's version of going all out.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, John Cena back, right? That's what he meant. They had a perfect opportunity. Charlotte was in the ring. They had a perfect opportunity to bring Becky back if they wanted to, if she wanted to, I should say. And they didn't. The crowd was clamoring for them. Charlotte played it off great. Yeah, while she's out breastfeeding, I'm out here winning titles. Which Becky then, of course, tweeted, breastfeeding at home and still the most over of the entire division.
Perfect response.
She was so great. But yeah, a bunch of stuff we've seen before. 6-man tags with people who fought the night before, right? You had just randomness going on. You did get John Morrison with a new T-shirt design, by the way, I will say. So, he's got those little, like, squirt things. He's calling them the drip sticks because they can't let this drip well enough alone.
Yes.
Well, he asked to be announced by what is now on his T-shirt that he's selling on WWEshop.com. America's Moist Wanted with a picture of the dripstick.
Oh my God. No.
America's Moist Wanted. And that me saying moist 3 times now is driving some people crazy.
Hey, actually, it's making Megan 3 belts uncomfortable. She hates
moist.
She hates the word moist.
Well, unfortunately, since somehow we didn't order you a Total Spotfest shirt, Megan, I'll get you an America's Moist Wanted shirt in its stead.
How about you get her a Reginald was a champion before Cameron Grimes shirt? Don't think I didn't see that.
Sure.
Don't think I didn't
It
see
happened.
that.
It happened. Well, okay. First of all, I was right about Reginald, about being the overness of Reginald. And you guys say, "Oh, everybody loves him." They did not. They didn't.
No, I know they don't.
Yeah, you were just trying to edge me. Thank you for admitting after all this time. Well, okay. So, in a very, very audience-friendly match, Nia and Shayna lost to Tamina and Natalya. Literally, anybody past the second row, everybody was just sitting. They're just like sitting there staring like, okay, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 2 rows had to be all plants because they're the only ones who were happy about anything going on in this match, which is a shame for Shayna. Everybody else, not so much.
Yeah.
Well, after the match, Shayna blamed, because it was Reginald got in the way. He fucked shit up, and she's like, "What's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing?" And Nia and Nia's trying to be, no, this is fine. And you can see it. Oh, she's gonna turn on him. Watch it. She's gonna turn on him. There you go. Oh, she just headbutt him. She turned on him, that got the biggest reaction of this entire match.
Yeah, yeah.
Which led to Reginald Sucks chance, which I loved thoroughly. And then out came, I guess Akira Tozawa is the 24/7 champion of the hour. He's come out getting chased by the random group of not fresh-faced talents, I should say, probably. Vince.
Yes, yeah.
Why is this product so stale? Well, whatever. So he comes out, goes in the ring where Reginald's left over, sitting there because he's been licking his wounds after, getting dumped by Nia, and wins the 24/7 title. And then backflips his ass all the way up the ramp. So he is technically a champion in WWE, for what it's worth.
Does he have a T-shirt yet?
He did. Do it. We never made a bet on that. You made the statement on Cameron Grimes that you would do that. There was never a bet made about Mr. Reginald. So no. The show ends though with rematch between Charlotte and Rhea for the women's title. Yeah, you had. Oh, you did. Oh, I forgot about one thing. Okay, sorry. Let me go back.
Well, you forgot 2 things.
I forgot 2 things. So first of all, Karrion Kross made his Raw debut.
There's one
with the NXT belt without Scarlett, and what you thought was going to be a squash match. He got up against Jeff Hardy. The match only lasted about 5 minutes, but ended with Hardy getting a surprise win.
Yeah, his first match.
It made no sense. And the crowd, you could tell, was just confused. They're like, huh?
Yeah, did you notice the reaction to him when he showed up?
Not big. Not big at all.
It was damn near non-existent.
They mismanaged him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen with him. But My only take on it is that maybe this is Vince's ideas to get more viewers on Tuesday, is to have a couple people kind of do double duty, because that was always worked so well in the past.
I mean, their number one champion just jobbed for Jeff Hardy, who's been a jobber lately.
I don't know. I cannot explain this in any logical or other fashion.
Oh.
It was not very nice. It was very evil.
Yes.
Danhausen would be proud, and they're probably cursed. So that was one thing. And then you also had Lashley come out, an MVP, saying, no more girls, no more champagne, no more fooling around. Lashley's here to fight. That's what he did last night. He's putting an open challenge out. Who's going to answer it? And you're like, all right, where's Drew at? Where's Drew?
Yeah.
He's going to come out, right? It's going to be Drew. No! It's Keith Lee with his terrible new music.
Mm-hmm.
And but he comes out. And it's good to see him finally. I don't know what there apparently were some health things. I don't know. I'm not going to guess.
Yeah.
But it's great to see him. He did look rusty, but it still was good to see him. He put up a good effort, but did get beat by the monster that is Lashley, who was then answered by his next opponent, his opponent for SummerSlam. And stop what you're thinking if you think it's good, because it's not.
Nope.
If this was 1998, it would have been fantastic, because here comes the drums, here comes the sparks, here come the tribal tattoos. It's Goldberg time, folks.
And then he says, I'm
next.
It's like, come on, man.
So Vince's idea, to recap, he thought the product was stale and wanted something fresh and new, and he's got all the big stuff planned for the first bits when they're live. His idea for fresh and new is to bring back John Cena, bring back Goldberg
and Edge, and then you have Keith Lee job. You have
you bury your NXT champion.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Okay,
this is
his grand idea.
This is the fix. This fucking Goldberg, really? Oh,
I mean, Goldberg was cool when I was 17.
Luckily, the show ends on a high, because it was a very good rematch between Rhea and Charlotte. They could put on a good match. Ends in a disqualification. Charlotte takes her belt and is going to walk away, and Rhea go after her. She gets hit. She hits Rhea with the belt, right? Okay, so that happens. And then they kind of square off. She goes in the ring to celebrate, and here comes Rhea, and she jumps her, and she beats the living piss out of her.
Mm-hmm. Gets a riptide on the outside.
Which is then answered by Nikki, almost a superhero's music. And you're like, okay, I'm glad I stuck around through all that shit for one good moment. Don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up.
Yep.
Please don't fuck it up. And they didn't.
They did not.
She came in, cashed the belt. Bell rang. She did like a diving crossbody from the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Nikki Cross. I'm calling her. Nikki Cross is your new Raw Women's Champion. That felt great.
Yeah. So a couple of the dirt sheets say that this is going to be a setup for her and Becky, because Becky's been wanting to wrestle her forever.
Huh. Okay. So like one of the pre-matches, the next pay-per-view is what?
SummerSlam.
Oh, that's right. It's coming straight into SummerSlam. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because I really don't feel like the feud between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte's done. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Vince, they're not. They're gonna keep going for another 6 months.
Yeah, same exact match.
This felt good though. Of all the shit, and that's it. At the end of this, by the time the show's getting close to ending, I'm like, well, I sat through one for what it's worth. I rode my bike and I fast forward through most of it, but I sat through one,
mm-hmm.
and then Nikki's music hit. I go, something.
Yeah, they gave us a little hope at the end. We'll see what happens on SmackDown.
We'll see. I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it either.
It's going to be the same shit. All right. So that's what we got for pay-per-views from this past week. And load up with pay-per-views. I know we were going a little long tonight, but hey, it happens. Jamie, we had one more thing. What is it? You had something you wanted to do, right?
No. We've talked a lot of wrestling tonight. I think
okay,
we'll save it for after.
We'll save it for Wednesday.
Fighter Fest Part
Wednesday's
2.
going to
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Slammiversary is available on Fight TV, Impact Plus. Go check it out. It was very good. Go to YouTube and watch somebody's recording of the men's Money in the Bank match. That's all you need to see
Yeah.
from anything that WWE has been going on. That's it. Just that.
The women's wasn't terrible, but the women's was good. The men's was excellent.
Women's is good. The men's was stellar.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's what we got. We will be back on Thursday to go over Fighter Fest Night 2 for AEW.
Hell
We'll talk.
yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow night or tonight on NXT as well. We'll touch base on it real quick. I imagine nothing good.
Yeah, you never know.
Hey, NXT's been going in an upward trend, so I'm interested to see what happens with that.
With
If
the
they continue in that
Joe
path.
the Joe and Killer Cross or start carrying Cross whole shtick because he put him out. So we'll see what happens. That's the only thing I'm really looking forward to. That and Index. That's it.
We'll see. You got to see them promos of the Butler.
Yeah,
because they were
fair. Yeah, those are good.
They were excellent. Once again, congratulations to our new Total Spotfest pay-per-view Impact champion Megan for winning yet another belt.
Making 3 belts.
Oh my God! One of these days she's gonna get sick of doing it. I'm hoping. We'll see. Probably not. Probably not. That's my luck. All right. You guys are in luck. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll be back next Tuesday to talk more Impact and news and goings on. Yeah, and then, of course, fair reminder, coming up on the 30th is Journey Pro KC's 78 Weeks Later. Has been sold out, so if you don't have tickets, you have to go on their Twitch. That's Journey to Anarchy. Journey, the number 2, Anarchy. You can watch it for free on their Twitch on the 30th.
Yep.
It's fantastic. They ironed out some of the kinks, so we should be good. I know Anarchy had a couple kinks when they tried to go against Circus Maximus, but they ironed out some stuff. Go check them out on Twitch. Go to their website, and you can buy yourself a T-shirt. They got T-shirts for sale for the new event that are fucking fire. They look great.
Yep.
So support local wrestling. If you're not from Kansas City, you got wrestling where you're at. Support local wrestling, whatever it is. Even if it's smaller, hey, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You can always have fun. If you like wrestling, you should be able to have fun at any show, right, Jamie?
Absolutely. We had fun at Kansas City Extreme Wrestling in the middle of the dot. We had a blast.
With 20 people at the Turner Rec Center. They had some good tamales there, I will say
Yes.
that. They had this old Mexican lady who was selling tamales at the door, and they were freaking phenomenal. I loved them. I had like 8 tamales and like 3 beers, but it was fun. That's what I got. So thank you guys for joining. Leave a comment. Give us a shout on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Jamie, take us home, please.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think JJ already knows where I'm going with this, but if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 3 words for you. Megan 3 belts.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Deuce.